on me.
I'm still down over here.
That was crazy.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm over here having fun.
Oh, somebody went down. Look at that. Oh, Cosmo is gone. You got me, but I got you. Your boy had to help me.
I'm running in with
Unbreakable
Alright,
is
nice.
not
That was
working.
a nice
That bonus
one,
armor is not helping me.
GG's.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alright. That's okay. You had to do all that just to
I
get me.
had a okay, game. Fuck you. I had
But
a
your
fucking
boy
armor
got
in.
roasted.
Okay.
Your boy got roasted.
And you're dead.
So don't run a skill build, just run your typical pesty build. I'll run the skill build.
GG's.
Watch out. Fucking NPC.
What happened? What happened?
How the hell he hit me for 6 million?
No fucking way.
Can you deal with that?
From behind. Oh wait, no, nobody from behind. Fuck, I'm getting shot from behind? Okay.
What were you trying?
Mister, stay alive, they're right there. Never mind. Come on, Mister, you got this, you got this. Damn.
He had that. What is up, Gorilla Nation? It is Relentless here, bringing you yet another Division 2 build video. Yes, I've been away for almost 7 months now. Just recently come back to the game, trying to get the feels on what's best or works best for me as far as all this new gear and whatnot in the Dark Zone. I've tried multiple things thus far, and just playing twice around, I'd say around 2 to 3 hours, and just getting probably to level 20 of the summit. This is the gear that I've actually come up with, and this is the actual build that I was wearing and the clips that was at the beginning of the video. There's much more clips than that, a full video of PvP utilizing this build in the Dark Zone, and after trying multiple different other builds as far as other armor regen, and let's face it, I refuse to use the crutch shield like everybody else does. But yet you can utilize it with this build and be even more potent and more effective, and there's other ways that you can mix and match it. But for being away for 7 months and only having a few hours played and coming back and being able to slap together this and dominate like I was in the Dark Zone is actually pretty good. So I didn't lose too much on the sticks being away that long, and if you want to know why I was away that long, stay tuned for that video also. But without further ado, and enough of my jabbering, I know I talk too much, let's hop right into it. You know me, I'm an LMG guy. And as I told you well over a year ago, people sleep on the RPK. And if you can't handle the unhinged because the initial jerk up when you start firing it, if you can't handle that, then I would take off unhinged and go with the new reliable. Yes, you lose out on a significant amount of damage, 10k a bullet, but it is easily manageable and then basically shoots like an assault rifle. But I'm used to the jerk, of the initial jerk, I should say, of the unhinged. So I'm comfortable utilizing this particular RPK. And of course 14.2, almost max, 11 damage to targets out of cover, 6 damage to armor, and of course the unhinged. And of course we cannot forget my baby, the Pestilence. Of course, I do miss the Mist of Piss and prefer to go back to it. But as is, you know, that tick does come in handy, especially when they try to retreat and they're running an armor regen build. It kind of helps nullify that to an extent in PvP and helps you take down your enemy faster. Now, a quick review over the stats. We're almost right at 60% crit chance, 115.4% critical hit damage, 65 headshot damage, 14% damage to armor. And then we'll go down into the damage-wise itself. 70.6 all weapon damage bonus, and another 39.2 by way of light machine gun. And then you add in the procs from the gear, and it is a complete slapfest at almost 150% weapon damage. So I went with 2 pieces of Golan, and it should be obvious, not going for the stats effects, but going for the armor regen here. So you get that 1%, and I got max armor, max crit damage, 5% critical hit chance, 11.1 critical hit damage in the mod slot. On the chest piece, I went with Spark, so that way I can use basically any skill that damages them and get that 15%, where it be a drone sent over, or if you're running like a bleed hive or whatnot, and you're getting pushed, typically the way they do with these armor regen shield builds, then you can just throw out a hive and get that 15% damage. I need to try to find a better one. But 142k armor, crit chance, wish I could take off that skill damage and put critical hit damage there. That's where I'm missing out on at least 15% critical hit damage, right? Well, 12% critical hit damage right there. So that would bring it up to almost 130 crit damage, and then of course we have crit damage in the mod slot. Now, one of the new gear pieces coming back to the game, Bellstone, one piece gives you 1% armor regen, and let me just say, before I go any further, there is just too much armor regen on stuff in the game. I'll just say that right now. It's like become a nomad fest back from Division 1. Anyways, moving forward, it's like we're having, if Nomad and D3 had a baby from Division 1, that's where, you know, Bulwark and this Bellstone come into play as far as with the armor regen. Max critical hit damage, max crit chance, 161 armor on this Bellstone Armory holster. Now this is where it can deviate. Now if you want to forego extra damage and want to get the extra armor regen, then just slap on a pair of Emperor's Guard knee pads, and it'll bump you from 2% armor regen to 3%. And I look at it as it all depends on how many you're running with while you're in the dark zone, and how well you are at playing the game as far as when it comes to PvP. I am mediocre. So, you know, if I can, you know, deal with the 2%, I think that's fine. When I incorporate the survivalist specialist, when I got the pokey heal rolling around at my feet, it kind of speeds that up. So it kind of helps my survivability, but I have enough survivability, and I'm wascally enough to try to get away and out of, and break line of sight from, you know, the enemy players that may be shooting at me. So that way, you know, I get a little bit of health, and then I can pop right back out and finish them off, or it'll help me survive long enough so I can pop an armor kit. But either or, with that pokey heal out and just 2%, I think I'm doing just fine. And I wanted to go a little bit more damage, but if you want to go a little bit more heal, then you could slap on the Emperor Guard knee pads and go to 3% armor regen. And it also depends on if you have a healer in your group that has a good hive heal. If you have a good hive heal, then that 2% armor regen is going to be well strong enough, so that way you can forego and go with this extra damage route. But if you're solo and you're tired of, you know, running out of armor kits, then I would go with the 3% just to help you out and help further your survivability. But like I said, it all depends on your personal preference, and of course as far as your skill as a PvPer. But instead of going like with some like a Grupo Sombra piece or getting some extra crit damage, I went with the one piece of Walker Harris to get that 5% weapon damage. And then of course 15% weapon damage is roll, crit chance, and critical hit damage. But like I said, you can go whatever route you so choose. You can go with the Fox's Prayer also if you want to. As you can see, I do have two different setups as far as when it comes to Emperor's Guard D-pads. I was testing a lot whether to have more blues and forego a little bit of damage, or keep the damage and just want the armor regen with the hazard protection. But you can go with Fox's Prayer knee pads if you wanted to. You can go with Golem to get another 5% armor. That'll push me up to 1.4 mil armor. The sky's the choice, and it all depends on your personal preference. Now, since I'm using LMGs, these gloves, these Petrov Contractor's gloves, are just too good to pass up. I still have yet to find a maxed weapon damage pair, but 12.6 weapon damage, 8% damage to armor, and of course critical hit chance maxed out on them. And the backpack, one piece Grupo Sombra for that 15% critical hit damage. But like I said, you can go and mix and match whatever you so choose. If you want more crit damage and crit chance, you can go with Seska. If you want some more damage armor, and I think that's best for you, then you can go with another one piece of Walker Harris. That'll give you another 5% damage to armor. It all depends on your personal preference and so forth. This has worked out best for me the way I have it set up. I tend to bounce in and out of cover. I'm not one just to stand there and try to face tank everything and anything. I try to, well, at least I think I try to play a little bit more smart and a little more tactical when I'm able to, so I don't mind running Composure, but I'd prefer probably Wicked in this slot, and probably go with like a perfectly Wicked, something along the Golan, and if I find a better piece, I can switch out the Mask or Chest piece, and keep that perfectly Wicked in this slot, so that way I'm doing a little bit more damage. But the only thing is, if your skills are on cooldown, then you don't have anything to more or less damage them with, unless you use your grenades. So that's another reason why the specialist comes in handy as far as the survivalist, because you have those flame grenades, and they tend to have a much further spread than the other grenades. But it's only a 3% damage difference, but yet according to my playstyle, my personal preference, Composure, pop in, immediately get that 15%, no skills or anything required to have to throw or to hit the enemy with, just pop in cover, tap, 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 good to go. Crit damage, crit chance, crit damage in the mod slot. But like I said, it all is your personal preference, and I've been away for 7 months, and I'm usually a DPS player, but I want to incorporate a little bit of armor regen because that's basically the thing now. What's going around, but like I said, I refuse to use a shield, but you can easily just substitute and use a shield where, if you so choose to. I just choose not to. But after 7 months, I think this is a good start, and I am enjoying it. It's competitive. It may not be the absolute meta in the Dark Zone, but as you can see in the clips, and I hold my own, and stay tuned for a full-length PvP video of utilizing this build, and also my interpretation of a Hunter's Fury build coming up shortly in the near future. But if you would be so kind, if you enjoyed the content and are glad to have me back, because a lot of people thought I had died, but sorry to I guess disappoint you. I have not, but yes, Relentless is back. Be sure to ground and pound that like and subscribe button, and also if you want to help support the channel, the reason why I'm more or less now back on Share Factory, due to the reasoning why I was away for 7 months, my laptop is kaput for now, so now I have to get another one. So sorry for the lack of sound effects and the GIFs and whatnot in my typical PvP videos of the past, but I will return to my form hopefully soon, to where I can incorporate that and get back to my old self. But thank you all so much for the love and support. We'll see you fudging later.